What's up, YouTubers? This is Scott here from MediaShinobi, and I'm going to be reviewing episode 9 and 10 of Nisekoi. And to help me in this review, I got my little shaved ice Rilakuma. Yeah! And, I live in Long Beach, California, and the weather's been kind of hot lately, so that's why I'm not in my car. So in the beginning of the episode, we see Chitoge. She finds the key that she remembered from her childhood. And that the only thing she really remembers about it is that the boy saved her from an animal attack and left a scar on his forehead. And this episode is pretty much, I still call it fan service. They're going to hot springs for outdoor school. I don't know, those trips that we rarely get to do anymore because we're in a recession. I miss those days, man. So watching this episode, this is how I felt. I was like, yes. Yes, yeah. So before they actually, begin or go into the hot springs, they were playing the little, I'm not sure what the game's called. I think it's called Old Man, where they pick cards. It's like Japanese version of Goldfish, and the loser has the Joker or whatever. They're playing it, and then whoever loses tells the people about their first love. And in the end, it was Raku and Chitoge, the last people standing. But then unfortunately, they got interrupted and had to go eat. So moving on to the actual hot springs, Raku gets into it, but then we find out that Claude switched up the names for the girls and guys, and he ended up going to the girls' side, and Chitoge was the first one to see him, and then he saw her beautiful, but her perfect body. Yeah, when we saw her, her body covered in steam, I was like, yes. So they have a little scuffle, and then finally he's like, you need to get out here now. And right before he tries to get out, the other girls come in, and he's like, oh shit. And he sees Onodera too. It's like, oh my god, it's Onodera. Yes. And of course, Tsugumi. Yes. Ruri. And in this situation, I gotta give it for Raku. Those hormonal urges to keep calm. Otherwise most guys be like, ding. So his ability to hold his breath for a long time. He was in the water for a while, trying to breathe in and out here and there. And Tsugumi almost caught him, but Chitoge, came to his rescue. And then right when he was about to escape one more time, all the girls came in, the teachers, all the other schoolgirls, and he's having a hard time in that. And on the other side of the wall, you see the guys, listening in ooh, I want to hear your first love. Tsugumi has a first love. What about your first love, Onodera? In the midst of all that chaos, Raku finds an opening in which he can swim through. And as he was going for it, Onodera quickly goes and blocks the little hole. And in his mind, that's the ultimate obstacle. Oh my god, it's the girl I love. She's naked. I gotta get past through that. Otherwise, I'll be scarred for life. The girls will find me, call me a pervert and whatnot. Chitoge comes to the rescue-ish, but then accidentally kisses him on the butt. End of the episode, they confront each other, about what happened. And of course, Raku denies, she kissed his butt. But I think she kind of knows, but, afraid to admit it or to say it out loud. Episode 10, that's the, what would you call that? The courage, test of courage, where they go in the woods with a pair and reach the finish line. I never really got why they did that. I mean, what if you go with a guy and he ends up being a pervert, or he attacks you or something? It's like inviting someone to murder someone, in the woods by themselves, or do something really naughty. Yeah. Of course, it's being a lottery, so people pick numbers by random and get paired. And I guess Raku summoned all his luck, and then he magically got Onodera, number 12. I like number 12 too. It's my favorite number, or one of them. Before they start the test of courage, Chitoge ends up, replacing one of the ghosts to scare them. But then y'all remember she's afraid of the dark. And then when Raku hears this, he's like, I gotta save her. I gotta abandon my only chance of being alone with Onodera, holding hands. Her warm hands feel like soft angel butts. He races into the woods, he runs past Tsugumi and Ruri. I gotta love Tsugumi, her cuteness is so cute. Chitoge is sitting there in the dark crying. She remembers the time where she was lost, or she fell in the hole, crevice, and she was stuck there for a while until the boy from her past, rescues him, And at that moment, Raku appears to save her as well. And as they're walking back, she finally she says, "You can call me by my first name now, since we are a couple, couple, so it makes more sense." And when they do finally say each other's names, there's a slight pause, like the embarrassing pause. Sorry, there was like a mosquito in my. There was a slight pause, and you get embarrassed, and it just I don't want them to get together. That's just how I feel. I'm not a Chitoge Raku, shipping. It's Tsugumi. It's all about Tsugumi. Well, I just want Tsugumi. I don't want Raku to get with Tsugumi. Episode. I guess Chitoge, is more like falling for Raku, but she still won't admit it. She still has the key. Raku knows that she has the key as well, but they don't know if it's the same one or if they're the same. It's the same promise. And this episode was really sparkly and dark. Well, not like dark, but like dense dark, if that makes sense. But overall, yeah, fan service episode. Can't go wrong with that. This is Scott here. Tell me what you guys think. How's it gonna end so far or go so far? If you guys are reading the manga, some interesting developments that happen. Don't spoil it for any other viewers. This is Scott here. Peace.